What is up, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris183.
And I'm Bailey.
Oh, you're not supposed to say your name.
Sorry.
That was just before. Yes, this is Newfound November. Crashed the intro. That's okay. Bailey is here, and Newfound November is a month where we're going to talk all about Chris's favorite band, New Found Glory, and we are on our second episode. So we started at the beginning. We did Nothing Gold Can Stay. Okay, we're skipping over self-titled. We already talked about that one. And so where we are right now, and this will not mean where we are going. We're not going every single one, but we got to talk about Sticks and Stones. Chris, this is an all-time favorite of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
The enthusiasm is just off the
Gushing.
rails. So before we introduce our guest, who's already somewhat been introduced, just want to give a shout out. We just started a Patreon account, and one of the tiers has shout outs in our episodes. So just want to say hello to Nick Jones. Thank you for being a Patreon. We've only had it up for like 12 hours, so hopefully there'll be some more there. We'll see what happens. But today we have a gentleman who is a champion of fantasy baseball. He is a champion of one episode of High School Never Ends Jeopardy, and he's a champion in my heart. Hi, Bailey.
Hi, guys. How you guys doing? Thank you for having me on here. This is like one of my favorite albums of all time. So this is an excellent choice for me.
Fantastic.
This is the second time of 2 episodes where we've had somebody on the show who it's been their favorite album of all time. So I am 0 for 1 for making those people happy. Bailey, let's see if I could make it 0 for 2 or maybe 1 for 1.
I think maybe. So, you know, if you're not a New Found Glory fan, you know, this album is I don't know, for lack of a better term, it's very New Found Glory, right? It's pop punk, but, you know, first album, it's kind of raw, right? Nothing Gold Can Stay. Then they kind of tighten things up with their self-titled record. A lot of songs about girls on those two. And I think we get a little bit more serious in our, you know, we change up some of the, you know, musical tones, the lyrics, and I think this is the evolution of the New Found Glory. So Bailey, tell me, true or false? You and I went to see a New Found Glory show where they were playing 2 albums in their entirety, and they played Sticks and Stones and Nothing Gold Can Stay, right?
I believe that is correct. I couldn't remember if it was Catalyst or Nothing Gold Can Stay, honestly, but I think you might be right. You have a better memory about these things, so I'll trust you.
I definitely know Nothing Gold Can Stay because I know that I was deciding between 2 shows and I picked that one. But Sticks and Stones definitely, for sure, right?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
So what makes this one of your favorite New Found Glory records?
I don't know, honestly. So I think, well, this album was sort of my introduction to New Found Glory. So maybe it's a little bit of nostalgia kicking in, but I believe what hooked me was hearing, I forget my name. Which one was it? Trying to remember the track list off the top of my head, but it was one of their songs on the radio hooked me. I can't remember if it was
My Friends Over You and Head on Collision were the singles.
Thank you. I don't know. I was like blanking on that one. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was Head on Collision, I think, hooked me. And I just was like, I immediately went out and got the album back in the days where you actually had to go like buy CDs and stuff like that. And this is on like a regular repeat in my car stereo, like when I was doing homework and stuff like that. And so every one of these songs like brought back various memories, but they all got me like jamming out and like banging on the table, pretending I'm drumming and all that kind of stuff. So yes, very fond memories, and all the songs, in my opinion, are bangers. So there's that.
So I don't really remember Head on Collision too much on the radio, but I remember My Friends Over You on the radio. So Chris, I'm curious, back in 2002 when this comes out, this is a summer album, by the way. You know, did you actually hear it and not listen to it, or did it just like miss your purview?
Probably. I mean, I've been vocal about my thoughts on the sound that New Found Glory brings to the table before on the show. So just to reiterate, I just always felt like New Found Glory sounded like just background pop punk music, like the same old just pop punk USA. Nothing really that special about it. So it was on, and I guarantee you that My Friends Over You was something that was on my radio at some point in time, because it was, I don't want to say everywhere, but it was definitely well played throughout that time period. So I just didn't have anything that, I guess the music to me just wasn't enough to say, oh yeah, I remember listening to that one, or oh yeah, a buddy of mine had this album and I listened to it. Like, no, I didn't own it. I was never compelled to buy this. And I really didn't have that one friend that was like, oh my God, you don't like Newfound Glory? You got to check out this album. Like, I didn't have that person either. So ultimately, it just it never hit my plate at that point, but it was definitely in the periphery.
So, how do you feel after being forced to re-listen to it?
Well, we did this. We did the exercise of the entire catalog, right? A long time ago. We never really went through this song specifically,
Correct.
and I don't remember exactly what I said about this one. I have some differing opinions. I can say that, without getting into too much detail, because I know we will here shortly, that some of the songs actually hit a little bit better than what I had originally expected. Um, some of the melodies surprised me. Some of the ways that Jordan sang some of these songs was passable in one way to put it, I guess, and some were even decent. So outside of that, like there were still some songs on this album that I was like, I don't even know what I listened to. Like, was that something that was really even? I could have put that song together. It was so meh. But other than that, like I thought there were definite, points in this album where I thought to myself, like, am I wrong about this band? And I guess we'll get into that here shortly.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. I'm excited for that. Yeah, so just kind of thinking back to my history again, this came out June 11th, 2002. So I had just finished up my first year of college and, came back home to, my buddies, our little group, and this was a record that I got at whatever the local record store was immediately, and it stayed in the rotation like for the entire summer because I found this band somewhere between Nothing Gold Can Stay and Self-Titled, and fell in love with a Self-Titled record. Went back and kind of fell in love with the earlier raw Nothing Gold Can Stay, and so this was the one that was like, okay, there's anticipation. There's a Newfound Glory record out, and I cannot wait for it to come out. And I think we'll get in track by track, but I don't think that it disappointed. I also think for a lot of Newfound Glory fans, and maybe if you're just a kind of a peripheral fan, that this is kind of the quintessential album. I feel like because it had probably the biggest song, I'd say My Friends Over You is bigger than Hit or Miss. I think that this is probably the one that people will put a bullseye on and say, like, if you have never heard Newfound Glory or something, like, you should listen to this album because it's not just all the songs about girls and stuff like that, like Self-Titled is, but it's a little bit more mature without losing that Newfound Glory essence to it. So yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of this album. Listening back to it, like I'm singing along the entire record. Don't even need to like look at the lyrics, even though I did because I couldn't think that I don't know if I've ever like read the lyrics. I've just heard this so many times that I know like every single song. It's pretty nuts. But I enjoyed listening back to it, and I'm excited to chat about it. Let's see. So this came out on both Drive-Thru and MCA Records. It was produced by Neil Avron. He's a famed pop punk producer. It got up to number 4 on the Billboard 200, and it sold over 1 million copies. So it was certified platinum. And I think that was a trivia question in High School Never Ends Jeopardy. This was the only Drive-Thru Records release to be certified platinum, even though it was upstreamed by MCA. What else, guys? Preemptive before we get into the album.
I mean, the only other thing that I'll add this that on Spotify, and we're not going to play the game. I'm just going to call it out. It seems to me like "My Friends Over You" is the number 1 highest streaming song that they have. It's maybe you guys can guess this. Here's the game.
Ooh, there is a game.
Is it more or less, without looking, than 147 million streams?
That was oddly specific. I'll let Bailey take a gander at this.
I'm gonna take the over on this one.
I think I would agree as well. I think this one's got a shitload of streams.
Do you guys want to guess if you want to stick by that over? Do you feel like you have a beat on where that over would be? And I'll give you I'll give you a $1 million buffer.
Yeah.
1 million buffer.
I was going to even round it about 150 million.
I was gonna go like 180.
Well, Price is Right rules. Steve wins because it is 163,527,353.
Even without Price is Right rules, I still got closer than you.
It's true. It's true. That was terrible.
We go
I'm
by
sorry,
Price
I'm
is Right
ashamed.
rules on this show.
Yeah.
So-
So I win both ways. So Bailey,
is-
it's been nice having you here. So we'll
Sorry.
we'll see you
That's
on
the end of the
next
show. Thank you
This is
guys
why
for
I flamed
coming.
out of Jeopardy.
Yes. Bailey, you were saying something.
Oh, I was just going to say that this is one of my favorite bands to see live. Like they always put on a great show. As Steve can attest, he and I saw them over in Lancaster once back in the day, and even still, after 20 years, they're still putting on great shows.
Did you ever see them during this era, if you will, the Sticks and Stones era?
The first time I saw them, I think, was in 2003 or 2004, actually at the Chameleon Club where we saw them just 15 years prior. But yeah, it was right near Sticks and Stones. I think it was during their tour, but it was at the Chameleon Club, which is a great venue for that because it's like nice and intimate, and that's like, in my opinion, one of my favorite shows that I've been to.
I was just in Lancaster, and I have no idea where that club could be.
It doesn't
Okay.
exist anymore, I don't think.
Does it?
I thought it closed down, yeah.
Oh my god,
Pretty sure
it's
it's
been around
gone.
for a long time. I thought.
Yeah, there's another place that the bands have been playing. It's called Tellus 360. It's kind of a bar with a background venue space. It's not anywhere near as big as Chameleon Club. I didn't really like Chameleon Club, though. That show, you and I were on the floor, which is okay. But they have like two or three different levels. And it's like if you're not right up against the edge, like you can't see anything. And
Yeah.
so it gets very clusterfucky, very, very tight. It was cool being on the floor of that show. I remember, I think there was a kid that had a sign. He said, "Newfound Glory, would you sign my shit?" But it said shirt, and the R was just really small. And they let him come up on stage. I forget what
Remember
song
this?
it was during, and they signed his shirt, and then he like crowd surfed back to his dad. So that was a pretty cool moment. They
That was
do
an
a
awesome
good
moment,
live
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Why did he want him to sign his shit?
His shirt.
And
It
when
was
he-
a fun thing.
And when Steve says kid, he doesn't mean like a teenager. We're talking about like a 7 or 8 year old. This is like a young kid, if I remember correctly. I'm thinking like sub 10.
Got it.
From the guy who's got like a 10-year-old. Can't name children ages. I can't. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's somewhere around 10, 11 is where I would probably peg the guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy. You called him a guy.
The boy,
This
The
is a young
child.
kid. This is a young child. Yes.
the child. All right. Anything else about Sticks and Stones before we get into the nitty gritty?
They don't
No.
break your bones.
Yeah, that's important to know. And just so you guys know, I did go into this one, even though the last one that we did, I wasn't really that great and heavy into it. Like there was some things that I thought were okay, but I went into this one with a clean slate. Once again, I promised Steve that I would go into each one of these episodes with a clean slate of a mind. So no predispositions, no anger, no frustration over this entire month that seems to be going just day by day by day by day.
Well, it's interesting because, self-proclaimed, I'm more of a like first half of Newfound Glory's career fan, and I didn't like that much of their stuff later on. Like I think after Coming Home, I kind of fell off a bit, and even maybe with Coming Home a little bit. So, Sticks and Stones, Catalyst, those are records that like they live in my brain. Coming Home a little bit, and then afterwards not so much. But I think that Chris, you liked some of those other records a little bit more. So maybe we'll get to some of those. We still have a couple more weeks left in Newfound November, so maybe it'll turn around and you'll be happy. But thank you
Something to
for coming
look
in with a
forward to.
clean slate.
Something to look forward to.
That is an understatement. Okay, so I will kick this one off since I transitioned
Oh,
that so well. No, well, you don't want me to?
It was good. No, it was
Oh,
good.
thank
You
you.
can have that.
That was
you deserve
applause.
it.
Applause,
you deserve
applause.
that one.
Thank you.
deserve it.
Okay, so again, anticipating this album big time. comes out in the summer right after I had my first year of college, and Understatement is the first thing that I hear when this album starts. And man, add this to the list of stellar first tracks by New Found Glory. Add this to the list of amazing pre-chorus into choruses, and there's a lot of them in this record. I will say, like, song construction wise, a lot of it follows kind of that typical structure. But the whole, I'll wire these nerves together, hoping for a chance to make it right. Tracing of your letters, see if your TED star as good as mine. But I mean, it is so enthusiastic, and they still play this live sometimes to open it. Well, they play it live, I think, probably every show, but I think they open their shows with it a lot. There's just so much energy in here. There's a little drum solo right before the chorus, but you're getting, and I don't know, man, doing this New Found November, the drums are really just standing out to me. I don't know what it is. There's this, obviously the guitar lick kind of fades out into verse 2. There's the Oz in the chorus. There's the whole, subdued repeating the chorus with just the guitar. This song really just kind of has it all. I think that it's like a prototypical amazing pop punk song. And that's all I have.
Bailey, what do you got?
So this was, after I bought the album, this was like a very powered, like, introduction to New Found Glory. So that was the first thing I heard. I was like, whoa, not a lot of albums, open with that kind of like heavy intro. And it got me right from the start. And I was like, all right, let's go. It like kind of gets you into gear right away. And, it was a good introduction for me to a band I hadn't heard before, other than just, a couple songs on the radio. And I was ready and rearing, and I was very excited to get through the rest of this album after the song. But yeah, like Steve said, it's definitely got like a good powered opening. And yeah, sorry, I'm just repeating myself at this point.
It's okay to be excited. Look, I
know.
mean, you already come on here and said that this is one of your favorite. Actually, is it your favorite band of all time? This band?
No, not my favorite band of all time, but they're definitely in like my top 5.
Top 5. Favorite album, though, of this band?
Favorite, yes. This is my favorite New Found Glory album.
Got it. This actually dropped the year after I graduated college at Penn State University. So at that point in time, I was very bitter for those people that were still up there, because I could not understand why I had to leave and why there were others that got to stay. So very upset that year. So I didn't like anything and didn't want to listen to any music.
This
Maybe
could have brought you up.
Maybe that was a part of it. I think that, it's funny. You talk about winning somebody back, and the line, "I'm sick of clapping," I almost feel like they got me on that one. Like, I really do believe that they maybe are moving in the direction of a band that I can relate to with that line. So good for them, right?
I'm glad you picked that out.
Good for them trying to do something for me. They really did. So good for them. And I'll tell you what, this song is not bad. I think I like the guitar. I think you mentioned it, Steve. It sounds like a car starting, that like that sound. I really like that. I think obviously that's not very unique, but I always like it when it's a part of the guitar line in a song. It gives it some energy. It just pushes it forward. And this song had that. You talked about the subdued chorus, so I like that. It had a really decent melody. The tempo was fun. And, like, for an intro track, it got me energized. It didn't lose my interest. And I could listen to this one more than once. So for me, I feel like that's a big win.
I'll take that. That is a big win.
I didn't think this was so cookie cutter either. Like, I thought this song had some personality and a little bit more depth. And maybe that had to do with the melody. Maybe that was the guitar line. Maybe it was the drumming, like you said. But, the mixture of all those things, I think, really just contributed to what I thought was a pretty decent pop punk song. So good for Understatement.
If only the next song was something I call personality, that would have been the transition right there. Damn it.
I know.
It's not.
I know.
But the next song is the big one. It's the big hit. Let's let Bailey. You can kick off. We'll talk about My Friends Over You.
So yeah, like you said, this is the one that really kind of jetted them up the charts, and this is one of my all-time and favorite Newfound Glory bangers. Like this one kind of especially hit home for me because it's about a guy who fell in love and fell apart, and he wishes he would pick his friends over this girl, and that one definitely hit home for me because like after high school, my a good friend met this girl during his freshman orientation, and they just like completely fell off the map. And I was like, bro, what happened to all the time we spent, man? We've known each other since like middle school. So he did not pick his friends over her. And so this one always sort of like stood out for me as a very sentimental, not sentimental, obviously, but a very special song because I was like, bro, can't do that. Bro code violation. But other
Bros
than that, as far
before.
as bros before,
I don't know if you're allowed to say that word
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't
Whatever.
know,
You know what I'm
if I
saying.
want to get canceled on my like fourth appearance. But yeah, I mean, as far as the actual song itself goes, definitely a top Newfound Glory song. There's a reason it's one of their most popular songs, and yeah, it's got staying power. It still hits, and this is definitely one that I listen to on the reg as it stands.
At the time, did you happen to put this song on with a pillow over your face and listen to it over and over again as you kind of felt bad about the situation itself that you
Yes.
were talking about?
I wept and I was like, "Where's my friend? Why did he pick his friends over her?"
Maybe there's people out, Steve, that people do that. People do the pillow
People do it. It's a coping
And the-
mechanism.
and the
It
song.
is.
So it's not just Black Balloon, it's other songs too.
Everybody hurts.
Screaming in the pillows is very therapeutic.
I feel like this is more of like it's more angsty and more angry. I'll pick my friends over you. It's not sad. I should have picked my friends over you. It's though you swear that you're true, I still pick my friends over you. He's making a statement.
Yes, he did pick them. So it's not like he's even saying that he will. He did. And
Good for
Bailey,
that guy.
your friend did not. Now, did your friend ever come back? Did we
Andy, if
get
you're
this
listening,
friend?
this is how you, bro.
Andy, you said is his name?
Yes.
Did Andy ever come back into the fold and apologize?
I think I know that guy.
No, that dude disappeared.
He just disappeared completely.
Yeah, no, like he was in our friend group and he just straight up dropped out. Like we did not hear from him again.
Steve, would you put your friends over you?
Would I put my friends over myself?
Over no, like over a female friend at the time? Would you put your friends over that?
I got to tell you, if you're ever in a relationship, a young budding relationship, and you're driving along in the car and you're like, you got to listen to this Newfound Glory CD, and then this song comes on, this is a way to piss off your significant other. I specifically remember like having to skip this song, or like the girl that I was dating like fucking hated this song because I did have a friend group and everybody got along together fine, but there's always that kind of, competing for attention, the relationship or the friend group. And so I feel like this is a very easy song if you want to piss off your significant other to put it on.
Yeah. You know what pissed me off was when that Avril Lavigne song come on and my girlfriend at the time would say that I'm different around my friends, or I forget what the hell the name was, but I was like, you know what? Screw that. But I'll tell you what, if I put this on and the girlfriend that I was with got mad at me, I probably would move on, Steve. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. It's just a freaking song.
We all do. I don't think that she got mad at me, but wasn't particularly pleased with the audio in her eardrums.
Did she punch you in the mouth?
No. There's no physical
Okay.
violence in my
No
relationships.
physical violence. Okay.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking. Right?
Just-
Who knows?
Just
Lily beats him.
looks that can kill.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that this is the iconic song, like you said. I don't think that I know that. I do think it's a passable Newfound Glory song for sure. There's a lot of good stuff in this one too. You can't really. I mean, look, guys, it's a big hit. We all know that. It's going to be catchy. It's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of just beats in this song that are really melodic, easy to sing to. They do a good job with that, right? It connects with the general populace. So I'm not going to take that away from them. The riff itself is enjoyable. I really, again, find myself, toe tapping or humming along with this one. The only thing I don't like is the lead up to the chorus. For some reason, it like goes off melody or it just sounds different, and I just don't like it. Like it doesn't sound good to me. So the chorus is good, but the lead up to it, where they change the tune slightly, not my thing. So I mean, I think that's the only downgrade I'll give it. Otherwise, it's a decent song. So, Steve.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it. So it got up to number 85 on the Hot 100 and number 5 on the rock alternative charts. And listen, it's got an earworm guitar line. I mean, it's a guitar line that a pop punk kid just, owns as part of their being. And the song itself, very like simple kind of chords behind it. It's like dun 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 dun. The I think you're talking about that pre-chorus that you didn't like that, but I feel like the drums build that go into that chorus, which make it fantastic. I love the "It's just for show, isn't it?" And then they change it to "It's just for fun, isn't it?" I like the part, and actually in the music video, there's like a fake kind of choir where it's like the Neil Avron, maybe that's his influence with these amazing harmonies, but they do a great job with that throughout this record. I think this is the perfect pop punk single. And doing a little research, I didn't really know, but the album was done, and they felt like we need a hit. We need something that's like hit or miss. And a lot of this other stuff, and we'll get to some of the other things that are a little different, but they wrote this at the end, and this song was basically written to be the favorite, the hit, and it fucking worked. It's kind of like that, Blink-182 doing First Date and The Rock Show. It's like the last things, oh, you want a hit? Here's your hit. But it definitely worked, and it got a lot of other people to listen to the whole album. So I think it's a great song. I don't feel like it's a song that is like too played out or anything like that. I enjoy listening to it whenever it comes on. So even though it's like the big one, I still get a kick out of it every single time.
Don't you think we've heard that story like a million times though, where there's a band and they do an album and it's like, oh no, we need something that's a hit, and they're like, yeah, I wrote this in 10 seconds and then it was a hit. Like, haven't we heard that on many, many occasions? Is that so common amongst bands that they can just have an album full of songs that aren't necessarily hits in the eyes of the producers, but then can just make one off out of nowhere?
There's probably so many stories of this where it didn't work out, but there's a handful that did. And I named the only one I could think of, other than like the Gin Blossoms. I know they did the same thing with, I think, Follow You Down, but I know Blink did it, and here it is. Newfound Glory did it.
Oh, because Hey Jealousy wasn't a hit. They were like, this song sucks. So
Well,
we
no,
need Follow You Down to really hit the airwaves. Is
No,
that what
wasn't
it is?
Follow You Down on the next record?
I don't know, maybe.
I forget,
Yeah,
but I remember they're on Pop Rocks all the time, and they have this fucking one audio bite that they play like all the time where he says, I don't remember if it was Follow You Down or shit. What are their subsequent singles?
Something Road.
Something, yeah, Allison Road. Maybe it was one of
Allison Road.
those where they were like, you need to go. They felt the pressure from the record company.
Found
to,
Out
like,
About You.
One of those, one of the ones that was not on the original record. When the next record came out, they were like, we need a hit song. So they like got in a room and they're like, we have to write a song that's like a hit song.
And it would just be that easy though. Like, hey guys, let's write hit song and let's do it.
It's
All right,
gotta
here
be
it
hard.
is.
It's gotta be hard.
Because like, wouldn't you have done that to begin with
Exactly.
with your band?
If you could just make a hit song right off the top, you'd already be a millionaire.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. Why can't we make a hit song?
We can't. We just got to do it. I can't
can
play
be-
any instruments though. I
We'll
can be
use
the
Chat
manager.
GPT.
Can you play the Chat GPT?
Yes.
See, then we can win.
All right, let's do this.
Did we all talk about the song?
I think we did.
I think so.
I think
All
it's
right,
your
so
turn
I'll-
to kick one off.
I think it is, and I will kick this one off. The name of the song is Sunny. I don't know why. Maybe he likes his eggs sunny side up. Maybe he likes Sunny from The Godfather. I don't know. I mean, there probably is a definitive reason why this song is called that, and I have no clue. And I'm sure you know.
I do.
All right, don't say it yet.
I won't.
So,
I'll wait till
although
next time.
I have no commentary at all why, because I don't necessarily care about that. But what I do care about is this song. And I'll tell you what, for me, I'm actually liking this one, guys. I think the guitar line and the riff in this one is finally interesting. Both the chorus and the verse to me sound good. I like that part where I think it's the second verse where it's basically starting off with all bass, but it has the same melodic cadence of the first verse. So you hear like at the guitar line, but in the bass, and then the guitar comes in after that with the bass. I love that verse too. I think they really did a good job there. Again, it's those little nuances that really hook me, but it's the melody that really got me here too. Jordan's voice didn't make me want to jump out of a window here. I thought that it was actually pretty good. I don't know what he did, or if it wasn't so high pitched, or it just wasn't as cookie cutter. He did some different things. Whatever it is, all together, I actually like this song. And I want to say it's almost like a pseudo ballad. I know it's not a ballad per se, but in my mind, I'm like, this is almost like a slower ballad type song. So, not that that really had any bearing on my decision on whether I like this or not. It was more just an observation in my head about what it is. So, I didn't mind the slower pace. I did not mind that part of it, the tempo. I thought that actually added to the enjoyability of it. So, I don't know. I really thought that this was definitely a high point in the album. Sonny, guys, what did you think?
Go ahead, Bailey. You seem to have some thoughts and some research ready. I don't want to rain on your
Yeah,
parade.
so it's called Sunny because he was written about his grandfather who died. I think they had a close relationship, but no, this is actually I think this is probably my favorite New Found Glory song. If you were to look at my iTunes data from like 2003 to 2010, this is probably like somewhere in the top three of like my repeat plays. I genuinely love the song. It's kind of sad but beautiful. It's obviously a song about loss. It's about losing a loved one. I lost the best part of my day, which is obviously a very somber line. But anybody who's experienced like the loss of a family member or a loved one can probably sympathize with this a little bit. But the line like an empty chair at every table is it's a pretty vivid depiction of the loss of somebody close to you, and that always kind of hit home. And it's always been it's a very melodic song in my opinion. Like the last about 10 to 20 seconds, that guitar riff that goes along with like the harmonized chorus, like it always like makes me feel, I don't know, it's very uplifting in a way. It kind of ends on a positive note instead of totally sad, because it's better where you're going anyway. So it ends on a positive note despite its sort of sad general theme. But yeah, no, I really really like the song. If you can tell.
It's a very different song here at number 3, right? You start off with Understatement, My Friends Over You, and then you get into Sunny. It is, to me, it's still kind of poppy, but is somber in its topic and its subject matter, and it just sounds a little bit different. And you can tell in this one, okay, lyrically we're getting a little bit deeper on this album. We're getting a little personal. It's not just surface level like girl dumped me and some girls are crazy kind of thing. The line that I always love is pictures fade away but memory is forever. I think that one, that last line of that pre-chorus is fantastic. I think I like the pre-chorus better than I like the chorus. The whole, when you lose a part of yourself, somebody it takes a lot to let go. Every breath you remember, pictures fade away, but memories forever. I think that to me resonates a little bit even more than the chorus. Chris mentioned the verses that are driven by the bass, which is really nice. Great harmonies in this song, especially in the last part there. It's kind of like a bridge that gets repeated. The whole, for now we'll say goodbye. We know it's not the last time. I think the bridge is probably my favorite part of that song. But I think for me, this is something that we really haven't seen from New Found Glory yet. We haven't seen a whole lot of this, whether it's kind of the darker nature, the slower / changing in tempos, or, lyrics that get a little bit deeper. And it's really refreshing after having two like really fast pop punky songs. And, you know, we're going to go into another one, another fast song here at 4. But I think that this is perfectly placed, and it's an awesome song. Really, really good, Sunny. And by the way, there's a show called Sunny on Apple TV Plus, SUNNY, which is really, really good. I think that you guys would probably like it. It's with Rashida Jones from The Office.
Are you thinking of
About-
Always Sunny? Is that what you're thinking of?
No. It's just called Sunny, SUNNY.
In Philadelphia.
No, it's just Sunny, and it takes place in Japan, so it's quite different than that. It's about the woman who's got a relationship with a robot in like the near future.
You sure
it's
it's
always
not
sunny in
about?
Japan.
It's just
Is
called
it a-
Sunny. Again,
is it about
just
the-
Sunny?
Do they have the brains, the body, and the wild card?
No. It's just one person, and they call it a homebot. A homebot, and it's like kind of like a mystery thing. Her husband was in a plane crash, and you got to figure out what happened.
I say.
It was good.
Was the gang flying the plane?
The gang was not. And nobody was trying to do Wade Boggs or anything like that, at least that I know of. Oh boy, how do we get here? With something I
Well-
call personality.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. And Steve, I believe that would be you to kick this one off. This very fast-paced tune.
Yeah, guess who plays bass on this song, guys?
I don't know.
Your mom,
Who's a
Kidding.
famous bassist that you guys like?
Les Claypool.
No? Try again. Who's a
Mark
famous bassist that
Hoppus?
you guys like that like
Mark
Newfound
Hoppus.
Glory? Mark Hoppus plays the bass of this one. For some reason,
Oh, no way.
Ian was like not available to record. And yeah, Mark Hoppus plays the bass. Anyways, that doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, number 4, we're back to the like. So this is really the first, I think, kind of like that hardcore inspired Newfound Glory, which we've seen it before, but maybe not so much in this album. It starts with Chad's, let's go, and just like blasts away. The chorus itself, 2 lines, simple chorus. It's not really the strongest of choruses. I'll sort this out on your own time. It's got hell yeah. I would say just overall, like the fucking pacing of this album is just fantastic. Like thus far, understatement, My Friends Over You, Sunny, Something I Call Personality, pacing or tracking, whatever the word is. The outro verse to me is fantastic. There's this like super fast drum buildup, strong vocals that, no matter how stupid I get, you'll always want more. And then there's like that fucking hard, quick stop back into the vocals. I think after a song like Sunny, you need a song like Something I Call Personality. Is it my favorite song on the record? We'll find out at the end of this. But, it's maybe not. But it's fantastic where it is, and it's a really good song.
Go ahead, Bailey.
All right. So this is like my favorite song of theirs when they play it live, because it's like Steve said, it's got that energy. Chad just raring out "Let's go," and you're like, "All right, yeah, we're gonna go, all right." And no, it's a great sing along song. Like shouting out Something I Call Personality when they're live and everyone else is doing it's fantastic. This is a great energy song. When I was having to do all my summer chores and cutting the grass, this is one of those ones that made the summer humidity not so bad, because you can just kind of jam out.
You sorted that grass out on your own time, didn't you?
Damn right, that grass got super sorted. But yeah, it was definitely one that it keeps you moving. And yeah, no, this is definitely one of my favorite like energy songs of theirs.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I mean, it's the pace of the song that draws me in. I think that the chorus slows it down, though. I'm at the second notch down from where you're at, Steve, on your analysis of the chorus here. I think it hurts the song, unfortunately, to the point where I almost don't like it. But it's hard to just hate it, because I do like the fast-paced nature of it. I think the hard driving guitars are fun. I do like that bass line. And, for the most part, I like these more punkish bass songs. So to me, like I think there's a lot of good things about this, but man, that chorus drags it down. So I got to give it kind of like a 5, like a mediocre meh at this one, because it doesn't come out enough to really be on the thumbs up side, but it doesn't take it down enough to be on the I never want to listen to this again side. So kind of middle of the road.
That's a plus when Chris talked about Newfound Glory. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I've been very positive this time around.
All right, Bailey, you want to kick off Head On Collision?
Head On Collision. This is a great song. I mean, it's kind of a not a sad song. It's definitely an angry song. Song about a failed or failing relationship, feeling bruised and broken from their head-on collision, seeing a side of you I've never seen before. It's a very vivid description of a busted and broken relationship that I think many people can sympathize with. I definitely can, unfortunately, but it'd be that way with life sometimes. But yeah, this is another. I mean, this whole album, in my opinion, has a lot of high energy. This is probably why it was on repeat for me that summer before college. And yeah, like it feels like I'm all time low, slightly bruised and broken from my head on collision. Like, man, I'm just tired of fighting with you all the time. Like, let's just end this. I can't take this anymore. Come on, let's just cut it out. I've had enough. And it's just, it's another tragic case. But, this is a great song.
All three of us were in, interesting points in our lives. We have one just about to go to college, one just finished the first year of college, and one that just graduated college. So this is, this is a very influential time in everybody's life, I feel like.
Yeah, this definitely came at like a peak, like teenage years, like just burgeoning into adulthood. So,
well, yeah, you were like right in the mix of what could be, because those late high school, early college relationships could always end up like this, for sure, because you're still so young and you think one way and it ends up not being who you thought they were. I mean, look, I've been there, so I know how you mean. But one thing that I would mention is, why am I liking all of these songs that are about really like just awful things, like broken relationships and obviously with death? Like, I really liked Head On Collision. I'll say it. I really thought this was one of the standouts on this album, similar to what I said about Sunny. And it's first of all, it's about the music, and it just has a really super catchy chorus. I think it has, the verse is a little bit more low key emo in theme, and I like that a lot. I like that. I like the way that those things kind of match up together. The dialed down verse versus the chorus dynamic, I've mentioned this countless times. That's my jam. So this song has that. And I thought this really had a nice bridge to a really, really, really good guitar part during that piece. And so I think you have yourself a pretty solid song here that, again, I thought was definitely one of the standouts. And again, this one has that personality I talked about that I want to see in a pop punk song, and not just a bubblegum pop punk, but this one has some depth to it that really I was able to sink my teeth into. So big fan of Head On Collision.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. And this is song number 1 of 2 on this album that inspired another famous band's name.
I was wondering about that. That was All Time Low.
All Time Low, yes, is named after or inspired by this song. And this song hits like super hard at the start, and then you kind of realize it's going to be one of those like sadder, darker songs, and then the chorus kind of like brings it back up. The chorus is very, very sing-alongy and overall very, very emotional in the song. So kudos to the lyrics and the way that they're sung. I think my favorite lines, he goes, it's not just what you say to people, it's not the way you look at me, it's the way you present yourself for all your worst critics to see. That's probably my favorite line in this. And then Chris mentioned that guitar line in the bridge, that you were gone. And overall, again, the fucking tracking of this album is just so good, because you had Sunny, which was that sadder, darker kind of song, and then you jump it up to something called Personality. Then you go back to Head On Collision, which is a different song than Sunny, but it also just has that same like kind of emotional feel to it. Chris, I liked that you called the verses emo. I could totally see that. And this is a great song. It's a great song, Head On Collision. I love it.
Steve, I want you to know I had that exact bar like written in my notes as like one of my favorite like lines from this album.
But you didn't say it. You
I
had
know.
the-
I didn't
you,
say that.
You
I put it
talked
right here.
before
It's in my
me,
notes.
and you didn't say it.
I know I didn't, but still, I definitely agree with you. I love that bar.
Fantastic.
This shows the different generational divide that we have on this show because Bailey, I'm going to out you. Your notes are on your phone. My notes
That's
are
true.
on a piece of paper. So
Chris's are on a McDonald's bag that has Egg McMuffin stain.
it's like on the back of like a training guide.
It's a
that we
back of
didn't
work
use.
thing.
Yeah. We're not using it. It's just scratch paper. But
I have paper notes too, but we're
That's-
professionals. He's a guest.
yeah,
He
but
can do
I mean,
whatever he
there's
wants.
nothing wrong. Everybody, I mean, it seems like more and more people use their phone for those types of things. I cannot. That is too small. My eyes are too blurry. But I guess it's my turn, and we're going to the next song, and it has been a summer. You said this was a summer album, so I guess that this song kind of fit in with that. And if you had a tough summer or a summer where maybe something didn't go your way from a relationship or other standpoint, doesn't always have to be about a relationship. I could see you really just cranking this one over and over again as a result. One thing I'll mention about this song is it got a check mark, but then the check mark got X'd
Oh.
out. So it's kind of like think of a check mark that's an X. That's what this song got in terms of the symbol scale. This one started off very promising to me, and I say that because that intro riff was pretty damn good. I love the way that kind of just started the song. I don't know how it goes, but it's just that you guys, if you listen to the song, you know what I'm talking about. But when you get into the actual melody of the song, it just really isn't as much my thing, especially the chorus. Melodically, it just didn't sound pleasing enough to me to be memorable or something that could really catch me. I do think that despite that, the guitar track on this song definitely rocks. And the verse itself has some good energy. So definitely a plus there. It's just that chorus once again. It seems like it's something that I continue to come back to is they either have a chorus that I'm like, okay, yeah, or they have a chorus that are like, this doesn't sound good at all. So this is one of those. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't think it was definitely a standout. I did have a line I wrote down, I'll be the first to know part, so that when he gets into I'll be the first to know, I thought that was pretty cool. And then it transitions. I think that's where everything drops out, or I have to listen to it again, but definitely something that stood out to me. And then it transitions back to, I guess, whatever the chorus is after that. But definitely, I guess, a slight glint of, just something that was interesting. But guys, I'm kind of middle of the road on this one. So how about you, Steve?
Yeah, so I had mentioned that the point in my life is that I just had my first year of college, and I had a nice group of friends in high school, and then everybody went off to their respective places and had that first year doing their thing, and then we all kind of came back and had a fucking summer. We had a really good time. We used to have like chairs in the back of our trunks, and we would just like sit up in a parking lot and have a boombox. We would go to the beach, do the same thing, listen to this record, whatever. So somehow this is like a relationship song, but the one line, "It's been a summer," kind of pulled to me, and I made this in my mind. This is like a friendship song about like me and my friends having that fucking summer, which was just so much fun, right? Because we were kind of growing up. We had gone to college, come back, we had some jobs or whatever for the summer, but we would get together every night and go to the diner and go to the pool hall and smoke weed and do all those things that friends do in their youth. And so I don't know, this one to me, outside of the actual topic of the song, just like holds a special place in my heart. I will say that I do like the chorus, burning up in here, bed is cold on your side. The bridge probably is my favorite part. Chris, that you had said, I'll be the first one to know, smart for me, just let it go. I think that part really has the most oomph to it, but I don't know. This is just one of those songs that I don't know. I just loved it for what it was without like getting deep into the relationship part of it. And I've always looked back on it fondly because that was a summer. That was a great summer. And I don't even remember all the things we did, but for some reason this song equates that summer to me, and I'll never forget that. So, or I did. I don't know. Maybe yes, no. Bailey, did you have a summer?
Not in high school. All my summers were probably in my adult years, which were fun. But
Maybe you should be a little older then. Have you thought
I
about
know.
that?
I tried, but then the gray started getting in, and I wasn't a fan of that. That's what happens when you hit 40, you guys. Things just start breaking. The check engine light's just on all the time.
We wouldn't know that.
No, of course not. But no, as far as this song is concerned, this is another classic like Newfound Glory, like good one to bop to, to jam out to while you're driving around in the summer. But I found it sort of like an interesting pairing with Head On Collision, because this is sort of like the opposite of Head On Collision. This is like nostalgia for a fun fling of a relationship, like a summer fling that might have like gone awry or something like that. What was the one line? I would fix these flaws of mine if I could just see you for one more time. Like, it sounds to me like something might have gone wrong, but he was like very nostalgic for whatever this relationship was, this fun summer fling that might be bringing back some fond memories. But this is definitely a fun one. I can happily say I didn't have the summer fling. I was more of a relationship guy, but maybe that's part of the bad experience from the previous song. But anyway, yes, this was definitely a fun song. 2 thumbs up. 5 stars, etc.
A check mark without an X through it.
Yes. No crossed out check marks. I would give it 2.
All right.
Indeed.
Well, we were up. We're gonna go back down a little bit. So I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, Bailey, if it was the show that we saw together or if it was a show that was more recent, but I'm pretty sure in concert, Chad got up and he told a story that the record label told them that they didn't want to include Forget My Name on the record because of the lyrical content, and they insisted that it go on the record, and it became kind of a fan favorite, and that's why they still play it today. Was that at that show, or maybe not?
I don't particularly remember that. I remember he told a story, but it might have been just the 2 or 3 beers that at that time might have kicked in, and I just couldn't make out what he was saying.
Yeah, sure, 2 or 3, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this song obviously comes off super dark from the very first line. Like if you think about listening to this for the first time and you're like, you hear, tell all my friends I'm dead, I'm leaving you, this time it's for good. Tell all my friends I'm dead, it won't be long before you forget my name. You're like, damn, that is some dark ass shit. But when he says the my name and he gets super loud, and then they get into the first verse, which is like super upbeat and pop punk. There's just so much different stuff going on in this song. And honestly, like the pre-chorus, it's really sad. It's about a person that's doesn't really know what's going on. They're kind of a shell of themselves. They don't know how to move on. I've been gone for a long time, waiting on the sidelines, hoping for a chance to play. I thought I would never leave anything behind. I also never thought I'd say so on and so forth. It's a fucking sad song, but somehow they turn this song again into a fan favorite where people are just screaming along, tell all my friends I'm dead. I actually have a Newfound Glory Halloween, like glow in the dark shirt that says, tell all my friends I'm dead. Which I guess, well, they made it. So I guess they're poking fun at their own sadness. But anyways, this song has a lot to it, and I'm here for it. I think the ups and the downs and showing these different looks in this record is fantastic. And this is another one like your Sunny or, like your Head On Collision that just hits hard in a different way. So it's not just the bubblegum junk food pop punk. It's something a little more with this album. So I think this is the first time that we're seeing that, and it's fantastic. I'm here for it.
Okay, Bailey, you're up.
All right, Steve. No notes on that breakdown. I'm right there with you on that. Like it's interesting how they can make a song about somebody having like a nervous breakdown into something that you can like jump up and down to. But I guess that's kind of what they do. They take odd subjects and sad subjects and make them fun. But this is a great song. This is one of my favorites off of this album. I know I've probably said that about all of them, but
You have a lot of favorite things.
I do. It's because I have a 3-year-old daughter who says everything is her favorite. She has a new favorite color every day.
What's your favorite
So-
color today?
Her favorite color today is yellow. Yesterday it was blue.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, they're all their favorites. Why? Porque no los dos? But yeah, no, this is like one of my favorite songs off the album. And yeah, every time I listen to the song, I find myself singing along to it. After like 5 years of not listening to this album and putting it back on to listen to it for the show, like all the words just came back to me, and I was rocking out to it like I was, 20 years ago. So yeah, this is one of my faves.
Hey, who's he talking to? Like, who is he going to tell? Who are you talking to tell all your friends? So, would I tell Steve to tell all my friends that I'm dead? Would I tell him?
I don't think it's as dire as like writing a suicide note in terms of like considering ending it all, but I think it's something along the lines of that concept, as in like broadcast, like tell the world kind of thing.
Are you telling a significant other, or are you just telling people in general?
I think it's like tell everybody, but I mean, I don't know.
Interesting.
Like
Okay,
who is
well,
he speaking to? Like,
Well, yeah, that makes
who is
more
he
sense to
saying, Tell
me.
all my friends I'm dead.
That wouldn't make any sense if he was like breaking up with somebody, because who the hell would? Why would that matter? Why would your friends forget about you if? Yeah, that doesn't fit here. So I think it's more than what you said. I buy that.
I think it's the greater. Again, not like I'm going to kill myself kind of suicide note, but in terms of generally, tell hey world, tell my friends I'm gone.
He's not really like going
Yeah.
to do that. He's not really going. There's no suicide. There's nothing. It's just tell them that.
Yeah.
And it's actually this is like faking your own death here.
I think it's more like he's sad and just wants to be like alone for a while.
Yeah, like
he's
leave me
Yeah,
alone.
just- exactly.
Tell everybody I'm dead so that nobody bothers me. I'm just
You
going to
don't
be in a
think it's
shell.
faking your own death just to like lay low for a little bit, and then maybe he's in some kind of trouble, or maybe he stole a painting or something and wants to just get out of the limelight for a little bit, and that's the best way to do it.
maybe he's all good.
So he needs to like wait a little bit of time so he could sell the painting.
Lay low. You got to sell that painting later. You can't do it now,
Right,
because
right.
all the eyes are on you now. But if
This is the
everybody
big plot
thinks you're
twist of the
dead,
song.
then you're good. Yeah,
I like the interpretation.
This has a low. You got to admit though, like, does this song have a low pitched Jordan on it? Does it sound like he's singing lower pitched on this one?
It sounds like he didn't get kicked in the crotch before singing this one. Yes,
Maybe we could have more of this. Maybe
except the word
maybe-
name.
Maybe I would be okay if he would sing more like this. I would be okay with this band. This song has flashes of good stuff in it for sure. I'll tell you what, this grew on me after 5 or 6 times. Like, I did not dislike this. First time through, I was like, man, this song just sounds exactly the same at the beginning as it did at the end. It just blends in with everything else. It's like the camouflage of pop punk music. But after I listened to it several times, felt like it had a little bit more than that. So I'm not going to write this one off completely. I didn't really get into all the ins and outs of the meaning behind it. Thank you guys for giving the audience that information, and me as part of the audience, I guess, in that scenario. But the music itself, I mean, it has some merits. It's pretty decent tempo. I don't want to say it's fun, because it's not a fun song, but the melody is fun enough. I think that sometimes, the melody does drone a bit, as a lot of New Found Glory songs can. But for the most part, like, it was interesting. And like I said, this one grows on you. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it yet, but ask me in 6 months and I'll tell you maybe differently. But I think this was another middle of the road track. I hate playing the fence here, guys, but just how I feel.
All right. Well, just don't give up. Never give up.
Never give up. I had a
that's-
shirt that said that. Never give up.
Yeah. What kind of shirt was it?
It was a Pearl Jam shirt.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it wasn't the cat hanging off a branch.
I wish I had that shirt.
Hmm.
If I could find that now, I would wear it. Trust me. That's hang in there, though, I think.
Oh, that's true. You got me on that one.
Never
Never
give
give
up.
Is
all
that
right.
B, or who? Where are we at here? Bailey, I think.
Is it me? Am I
Yes.
up? Which one's
Yes.
next? Is Never Back Down?
Never give up.
Never Give Up. That's right.
You
my
could
bad.
also never back down if that's your
That's a
mantra.
different one. This one, so this one was interesting to me. I didn't really like this one back in the day, but when I was re-listening to this album for this, I found this song getting stuck in my head. It was like the earworm that I couldn't get out of my head for some reason. So I don't know if it grew on me or if my opinion on it changed, but I like it a lot more this time around, maybe as the Redux, but like, and it's a little more like lyrically uh mature to me as well. Like, I didn't think it was going to be, or Living With Me, I don't think it would be this bad. It's the first time this year that I'm not going to make you mad. It's almost like, he's in another song about a relationship, obviously, like most of this album is, but he's like a relationship he feels like he has to walk on eggshells, and it's just kind of sad, but he doesn't want to give up. He's tired of his conscience telling him to stop sleeping in. Like, you got to get up, you got to go back at it. Like, to me, it's a good song to, it's right on the song cover. Never Give Up. It's a song about, getting up and getting your shit together and going back at it again. So, but overall, the song itself wasn't one of my favorites off the album. It's still sort of like in the middle, but it grew on me over the years. Maybe I just like the subject matter a little more now that you have to fight your battles, and so it's good to have a good pick me up song every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, very good. I mean, this one has as a symbol an X with a circle around it because I don't think this is any good. I felt that, despite the message, which definitely has a ton of merits, and I will not take that away from you, Bailey, or anybody else. I think that the message may be a good one, but the music that the message is tied to is not a good one. I do not think that there is any semblance of a melody here. I think it's just chaotic. It doesn't sound good. And at the same time, it's super boring to me. So this one did not hit, even though it was, I don't want to say it's short because it wasn't. It was probably about like 3 minutes long. It felt longer than that. So this was not one of my favorites. It definitely was one of the worst.
Yeah, I think for the most part for me, this album is a really top heavy album. Up until now, every single song has like resonated with me and I can blast it out, the words, no effort required on my part at all. This part of the album to me gets a little bit what I would call album tracky, right? That doesn't mean that I don't like these songs. I like Never Give Up, but I just feel like it doesn't have the same, it doesn't carry the same oomph that like these first 7 songs are like fucking perfect first 7 songs. This song, it's got a good pre-chorus. It's got a good chorus. It's got Oz. It's a good New Found Glory song, but it's not a great one. And I think that it might be my turn to keep going here. But I think that for me, towards the end of this record, I get into this space where we're in a little bit more of the mediocre and not the spectacular, if that makes sense.
Before you move on, though, let me ask a question, and I think this is a valid one because it seems to be my experience is if for whatever reason an album does have some mediocre songs on it and they are towards the back of the album, does it make those mediocre songs better to you if for somehow they mix in a real banger? Oh, I said it.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Oh, a really good song, like an awesome song in the middle of them. So if you took a really good one, if you put, what do you guys like, hit or miss? Let's say hit or miss. There were still some really good songs towards the beginning of this album. But let's say you put hit or miss between Never Give Up and The Great Houdini. Does that make those songs sound better to you? Do you get more invested into those songs because it's before and after something you really like? Because it's worked for me in the past with some songs that maybe otherwise I wouldn't have been as into.
I
Like
think
just
maybe.
using- go ahead.
Sorry, I think maybe it's a good idea to do that for continuity of the album and to keep people in. And again, I'm not saying that I'm gonna say that the next like 4 or 5 songs are trash or anything like that. I'm not gonna say that. But if the second half of your album is significantly weaker than the first half, then it would make sense to put a song that you feel strong about later to keep something a pick me up towards that second half.
And look, that's our opinions, right? So, I mean, they may feel that The Great Houdini is one of those great songs and it should be where it is because it's amazing. But so, I mean, it's all just, opinion based. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you put something better there that, like you said, if you put too many mediocre songs together, your interest wanes. If you put a really good song on there, you get rejuvenated and you're more into the next song. And I don't think they do that here. So I don't know. I'll give the mic back to you. I know you're next on the list.
No, Bailey was about to say something too.
Oh, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, good. Thank you. So I'll go into The Great Houdini. This song is very basic musically. I think the chorus is okay. I like that they expand the chorus the second go around. I think this is another good, not great song. So again, I find the album to go into this part here weaker than the first part, but not bad. Still enjoyable, still listening to it, but not as incredible as where we started. I don't know if you guys feel any. Bailey, do you feel any different?
No, Great Houdini was one of the ones that was sort of mid for me. Like I wasn't crazy about it. Like it's one that I can bop around to. I remember the words, but it doesn't stick out in my mind for anything in particular. Like it's another pretty good New Found Glory song, which is good, but I don't really have much to say on this one. Unfortunately, it's just kind of one of those ones that gets me to the next song.
Yeah, it's just a song, guys. It's just a song. It has a verse. It has a muted chorus. So it's kind of just them singing New Found Glory song number 4. And I mean, whatever, right? If that's your thing, then you're going to like this. If you're not into the status quo New Found Glory sound, then you're not. But it's paint by number pop punk. So, take it for what it's worth. But my question is, when you get to actually the beginning of the song, so he went to her house. I went to your house, so I'd say her house, but I went to your house and you weren't home. Does that mean that he went into the house without being? Was she not there? He wasn't actually home, but he went in anyway.
No, I don't think he went inside the house. Went to
There was
the
no
house.
breaking and entering.
Yeah, like maybe rang the doorbell, threw a rock at the window. No breaking and entering. I don't think.
Now this is what 2002 or 3.
2.
I don't think that. I mean, I think cell phones were definitely a thing, but they weren't like super prevalent, right? Like people had them, but it wasn't like everybody had them.
That was like the Nokia brick phone era.
But you can also shut off your phone by just leaving it off the hook.
Is that what he's talking about, though? Is he talking about leaving it off the hook, or is he talking about a cell phone?
I got the impression it was a cell phone, personally.
You can't shut off your.
I definitely had a cell phone in college. So I mean,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely had a cell phone in 2002.
Yeah, I had a cell phone in college, but you had to wait until it was 9:00 to use it.
Nights and weekends.
I did not wait one time for 6 months, and I got an angry phone call from somebody that was not happy with me.
Whoops.
Yeah,
what
I got that when I first discovered text messaging.
What are you going to do? But that was something that popped out to me that was interesting about this song. Definitely not the music, but certainly the idea whether or not he broke and entered into the house and what kind of phone he's talking about. So that is that. Why else is he the Great Houdini though? Like, is there? Does it explain that here, or just
he's an escape artist? I don't know. I've never actually looked at the lyrics for this one.
Oh,
I didn't study properly for this one.
I bet it has something to do with him getting into the house without her not being there.
Could be.
Yeah. Is it my turn to talk about the song?
Sure. You're Singled Out, which is not a television show on MTV.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you?
Knew it. Yeah.
Was that Jenny McCarthy?
You took the joke.
Yes.
I don't know. Was it?
It was. And Carmen Electra, I think, at one point, too.
Was it just a single show? Like, hey, these females slash males are single, and which one's it going to be? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was a dating show.
Yeah.
I wish I remembered the exact premise of the show, but I don't.
I think it was sort of like a blind date type show where, you know, you had three contestants, you can't look at them, they have to like answer questions type thing.
So
I
while
think there
you're
was some
looking,
gimmick for it, but I don't remember what it was.
while you guys are looking that up online, because we have computers available to us in 2024, I'll speak to what I think about this song, and you better hurry up because I don't have much to say.
Are you commanding us to look up Singled Out? Okay.
I'm assuming that you would want to do that. I'm assuming you'd want to do that. I think that this is another one that, you know, the driving guitar really kind of just is the main thing. It carries the song, because I don't think the melody is that fun. I think the melody is kind of boring once again. It doesn't do anything for me. It's just middle of the road. It's mediocre. So, you know, you add in a pretty decent guitar line to a mediocre melody, and then you kind of just end up 50-50. So I don't really know. I also think like there's a little bit of screaming in this one, and historically, like I'd be like, oh yeah, that's great. I love that. That's my thing. But I don't even know if I'd like that. So this one's a thumbs down. Can't say that I don't like the show. I didn't like the song.
Do you guys remember MIDI files?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Like if you had an early cell phone and you wanted to get like a ringtone or something, or even if you just wanted to download a song, you could download a MIDI file, which sounds like how this song starts out, that like electronic like intro, but it sounds computery. I don't know if that does anything for the song, to be honest. Of all the album tracks that I'm calling them at the end of this album, I think this one might be one of my favorites. It has a really strong chorus. You know, why'd you have to go and make me say these things about you? I thought this one had a good chorus. I like Chad screaming in here. This one gives me a little bit of like that hardcore vibe. So I liked Singled Out. Although if you had told me that there's a song called Singled Out on this record, I would not have been able to sing it for you, have any fucking idea what you're talking about. I did not know. I don't remember the name of this song ever.
Bailey?
Oh, it's me up. That's right. Am I? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's me up. I didn't realize
You're still
I was
here.
muted. I am still here. I accidentally muted myself. I apologize. But so yeah, this is one of the ones that I really like when they play live. Like this is a good live song. Like they kind of lull you in, like Steve said, with that sort of electronic keyboard sounding like intro, and then they just jam right into like a hard, you know, guitar solo. But the subject matter for me was always kind of interesting. It was always, you know, it's a song about like an angry breakup. Like, why'd you have to make me go say these things about you? Why'd you have to turn around after all that we've been through? Or maybe it's like, you know, a broken friendship or a broken relationship. But either way, there's definitely some anger to this song. So, you know, there's time and place for that. But as far as where it stands on the album for me, like, I like it, but not my favorite. You know, I'll sing to it during shows and I'll bop to it, but usually if I'm in a rush, I'll skip through this one.
It's hard to play the game like, did they play this song at the show? Because they do so many themed shows. Like they do a lot of anniversary shows and full album shows that I don't even know what like a typical New Found Glory regular set even looks like these days.
A lot of nostalgia, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are at Belated.
Wait a minute.
Again,
You didn't even talk about Singled Out. You just skipped it.
what are you talking about? I talked all about it.
That's what we were just
No, the show.
Oh, the show. You still wanted to talk about that?
Well, I just want to mention that Chris Hardwick was the host. You did not know that, right? You said Jenny McCarthy. Now, Jenny McCarthy was correct, but it looks like Chris and Jenny were both hosts during the same period of time.
Okay.
Maybe she was like a co-host of some kind.
Yeah, there might have been two. I think there was a guy and a girl.
Oh, there it is. So basically, Chris Hardwick was the main host from 95 to 98. And Jenny McCarthy was there 95 to 97. And then Carmen Electra took over from 97 to 98. So it looks like Jenny went bye-bye and Carmen came in for 1 year. and then it goes on from there. Apparently, they relaunched it in the late 2020s. No, we're not even in the late 2020s. 2022 or 3, but it did not catch, unfortunately.
Wow.
So
Showing fake
sorry,
tits up, huh?
didn't work. But that's in case you guys are wondering, that's singled out. Go check it out. You might like it.
Singled out. All right.
Classic 90s MTV when they still played music videos.
Except for that dating show.
Yeah, except for occasional shows.
Now you can go to the next song.
Belated. So this seems to me like one of these, later album tracks that, they're kind of trying to do one of the, more serious ones like a Sunny or Head On Collision or Forget My Name. I don't know that this one hits really as hard as those other ones. So like I'll sing along to this one happily, but it doesn't really like have a special place in my heart or anything like that. I think that the "I didn't mean to miss your birthday" is kind of the hero line, if you will, at least to me. But this is one of those that kind of gets absorbed into the later part of this record. That's probably not one that they're playing live often or is really that important to them. You guys think any different, Bailey?
No, this one was definitely one of the ones that I would typically skip right through. I didn't really care for the song that much, truth be told. It always felt like it was a positive, like upbeat song, but I never actually read the lyrics before. I have to like actually see if that's true. Is
They're
it,
not
is it
that
a,
good.
is it a sad song or is it a happy song? I always it feels like a positive, upbeat song, but now that I look at the lyrics, I'm not sure if that's true anymore.
I think it's more of a sad song.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But yeah, that goes to show you how much, I really paid attention to the song. I don't even really know what it's about. So I think that kind of sums up my feelings on this one.
September did come so quickly, guys. You know that, right? That always makes me sad because I like the
September
summertime.
came so quickly.
Not this year, friend. Not this year. But this song is rinse and repeat bad. I do not like this one, guys. It drones. It's boring. It doesn't have anything redeeming. This is a skip. This is a erase. You could erase this track from Spotify. I don't know if it's possible. Let me see. Delete. Doesn't let you. So unfortunately, this is just one that's just gonna have to be there. But I feel like we're all aligned on this one. You guys are a little bit nicer than me. I'm just going to tell it like it is. So there we go. That's the story so far.
It is.
And this one, well, if we're going in order, I guess the next one would be Bailey. So Bailey, talk about this song, and it seems like the title of this is another band. Am I wrong?
Number 2 band name
is.
inspired by this album.
Right. Love those little trivia nuggets. It's great. But I thought this song was a great way to close the album out. Like, I really enjoy the song. It's I don't know what to say about the lyrics so much, but I just know every time I listen to the song, it makes me feel happy, and it's, in my opinion, like another classic, like heartfelt New Found Glory song that it's probably one of my favorites from this album. Again, like of the 10 favorites that I have on this one, but
We're
I don't
gonna
know.
play the it's one of my favorites drinking game for
We
this
should.
episode.
Next time
time Bailey's
that's what we'll do. But
No,
no, I care for the song a great deal. I like the song a lot.
and that's good. I'm glad, and I don't think this song is super offensive either. So I'm getting what you're saying. I don't think this song has a ton of personality, unfortunately, for my taste. It does end up to be it's kind of drony in my opinion, and I think again it's that high pitched just Jordan that I just don't want or like. There's a lot of that here, more of it than I can stomach. What I really do like is some of the interesting things they do with the music here. I really like the guitar. It's kind of like it comes in bursts and there's pauses and there's lyrics and it comes back. Like that's pretty cool, right? Plus the melody is just kind of falls into what I just talked about. It's unique. It's when you do hear the guitar and those short bursts, it's an interesting interesting riff, interesting. I guess it's a riff, right? It's a guitar riff. So I think that anytime that it's something that I've really never heard in any way, shape, or form before, it'll catch my attention. So some sparks of good stuff here, but overshadowed by just more blandness that is hard to get past. Steve.
Yeah, so I mean, while I feel like there were a few average songs in a row, I really like how they end this album, and they end a lot of albums with a strong song. This song, the story so far, it's bassy, it's got attitude, the vocals very very clear, the chorus is very strong and very emotional. The whole the sky will never look the same again till you show me how it could be. Like when you're listening to that, you kind of I don't know, you just feel it and enjoy it and take it in. I think this one is a very good, strong track to end the album, and I liked it a whole lot. Very good.
Aren't we talking about the next track, Joke Skits?
Joke skits? No, I mean, if you'd like to, you certainly could. It is a thing.
I don't know what
So,
to say.
Something
other than
about
it was-
somebody's in the house. I don't remember.
Yeah, it
I
was
do have
creepy.
I do have a semi-humorous story about this. When I was playing after the song came out, or after this album came out, like the summer after I graduated high school, I was just reading in the living room, listening to this on like the home theater system, like CD changer that we had, and I didn't really realize that the CD had ended. And so all of a sudden, on the speakers from every direction, I start hearing someone's in your house, someone's in your house. So I start freaking the fuck out for like 10 seconds, like what the hell is happening? And then I realized that the CD was like still playing, and it was like just that hidden like stupid track that they have on there. And I got like
They got you
super
good.
mad at myself. Oh, they got me fucking real good. I thought there was a ghost in my house. I was about ready to like run. And then I realized I was just a big idiot.
Oh,
then I found $5.
okay, ghost. Okay, I thought like you meant an actual invader or somebody that came in. Because if you really think about it, like, would somebody that was doing a home invasion into your house find a way to tell you that they were there through your stereo system somehow? Like, do you think that that's something that they would have done?
That would be a very clever killer. It's like Scream level killer.
Yeah, because you almost have to like burn a CD of yourself saying that, find a way to get it into your changer when you're not really looking, and then hit play, and then it's all history from there. But that's a lot of stuff to do.
Diabolical.
I don't know, Steve. Do you think that's a good plan, or do you think there's other ways of doing that?
If you're trying to get in somebody's house, I would not alert them. That would be my recommendation.
I think that kind of good. So back to my point, don't you think that this lends a little bit more credibility to the fact that he did go into her house without her knowing?
Well, I like that you tie these things together. I don't know that it adds that credibility, but I
But
like
you
that
don't know
you
is
pulled
the
it out.
key. That's the key
Good callback.
word there. You don't know.
Good callback.
Yeah. So we're solving mysteries here on the show. So hopefully you guys, can appreciate that. But we did it. We got through the entire album. This one, to me, was not as much of a slog. Look, I mean, I think there was a decent amount of passable tracks on this one. This is the superstar album for a lot of people that like this band. I don't think anybody would argue that, right? Like, this is the one, like, for most people that say, hey, what's your favorite New Found Glory album? They're mostly probably do you think it's more or less than 80% of people would say Sticks and Stones?
Listen, they've had a lot of albums. I less than 80%. Less than 80% for sure.
You think less than?
Yeah.
60%?
I would give it 50% and then 50% anything else.
So
But-
only 1 out of 2 people will say this is their favorite album.
Maybe, yeah.
I think you're right, though, that this is definitely like the predominant favorite album of New Found Glory. If you were to identify a single album that was a New Found Glory album, that would be the favorite. It would definitely be this one, in my opinion. I agree with you, Chris.
I think we need to do a poll, though. I think we need to do a poll for this one. What is your favorite New Found Glory album?
Okay, poll will be coming out around the time this episode releases.
But what's not going to come out other than on this show is our next segment, and that's Ranking It. Guys, if you do not know what Ranking It is, if you're brand new to the show and you may just be, this is where we rank our top 3 favorites of the subject matter of the day. And today, because it is Newfound November and we are talking about Sticks and Stones, we're going to find our top 3 favorite songs on this album. So as per usual, guests go first. Bailey, you had a lot of favorites, but what are your top 3 in order? 3, 2, 1 off of this album.
And now it's serious. Now you got to really
Now-
answer.
Gun to my head, I have to pick my favorites from my favorites. This
In
is
order.
very difficult. I don't appreciate being under this kind of pressure, but I'll see if I can perform. All right, number 3. My third favorite song from this one, I think I'll have to go with My Friends Over You. I like this one a lot. It's the one that got me hooked. It's one of the ones that got me hooked. It's, one of their most popular song. It's got everything that a Newfound Glory lover could want, all in one package. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, 10 out of 10, no notes. Second, I would put Head On Collision. I just really like that song. It's super catchy. It kind of hits home. Like, I can empathize with it. I really like it. I bop out to it all the time. It's in my opinion, a Newfound Glory classic. And number 1, I think I probably tipped my hand a little earlier in the segment, but Sunny is my favorite song off this album. It's very sentimental. It's a serious song. You wouldn't expect it from a band after, a song like My Friends Over You, and then coming at you with this, kind of, somber song about a serious subject. But it's also sort of beautiful and melodic, and it just gets me every time. I get a little misty, whenever I hear the song every now and then. So that tells you it grabs on my heartstrings and pulls on them. So good job, Jordan. I like this one. That rounds out my top 3.
Do I have 3? Yeah,
You got to
I
have
think
3.
I think I could figure out 3. I think so. Well, I know that 2 of them are definitely here. I'll do it this way because this makes the most sense to me. I will put Understatement at number 3 just because I'm okay with it being it's so far so good on first tracks off of this album. I will say so far in our exercise of Newfound November, this is the best first track that I've heard, even though there's only been one other one, but I'll give it to it because it was a decent track. Not going to take it away from that one. Number 2 for me is Sunny for all the reasons that were already said. And then number 1's Head On Collision. I think that probably has the best melody. It was the most interesting from a songwriting standpoint. And I thought it was the most unique. It just had a lot more depth than a lot of the other songs. So for me, that was the number 1. Steve, how about you? Because I know this is
Steve.
maybe something different than what we've said so far. Maybe
Only
not.
one song will be on all 3 of our lists, and that is my my number 3 favorite song is going to be "Bruised and Broken" from our Head On Collision. That's my 3rd favorite song on this record. It's absolutely fantastic. Number 2, I will say that it's actually not the best song. There are better songs on this record, but "It's Been a Summer" just has that place in my heart for what that summer was, and when I listened to that song, that I'm giving it the number 2. But the best song on this record is Understatement. It is a fucking punch in the face at number 1, the first track. So I'm giving that my number 1 spot.
There
All
are
good choices.
There's been so many songs that fit into your heart. I wonder how many songs are in there.
There's a lot of songs in my heart. There's a lot of songs in my brain. I wish there was more relevant information to everyday life and society in my brain, but unfortunately, it's just comedy, movies, and music lyrics. But I have a quick question for the 2 of you guys, and maybe me, but Bailey, I think you said that Sticks and Stones is your favorite Newfound Glory record.
Yes.
Is that so? Okay, so that's true. This is the best Newfound Glory record.
In my opinion, yes.
Chris, do you recall? I know we haven't gotten all through Newfound November. It's been a long time since we did the full episode. Where does this rank on all the records?
Well, as we discussed, Chris 183 has wiped the slate completely clean, and I told you that, and I stand by that. So even though that I've listened to these albums before, with the slate being as clean as it is, I've honestly only listened to 2 of them.
Fair enough.
Nothing Gold Can Stay in this one, and by far this is much better than that one. So I'm going to say it's the best one so far.
Okay. We'll
There's
stick
the
to
story
that.
so far.
We'll stick to that story so far. So you like the Enema of the State better than you like the Dude Ranch. I get it.
That
That's
is
what
not
you're saying.
true. No, I cannot say that.
Just
It's
the
different.
comparisons.
I am
of the-
Chris 183 and not Chris Found Glory. So
He's
Can
just
we
using
change
an
your name?
analogy.
Can we change your name to Chris Found Glory? That would be fantastic. Like, let's say Newfound November goes so well that you're like, holy shit, I love this band so much. I'm changing my name to Chris Found Glory.
this is not an option. No, we didn't. I didn't say that.
Can we
to make
discuss
it be
this
a thing.
further offline? Because I think I really like it.
Can you make that a Patreon tier?
Yeah, if we hit like, look, if we get to 5K followers on Instagram, I will change it to Chris Found Glory.
Okay, you've heard it out there. Share with your friends. Put it in the Newfound Glory groups. We'll make it happen. Sticks and Stones is absolutely a fantastic album, and it's one of the best Newfound Glory records. But I don't think that it's my absolute favorite. Maybe we'll talk about it later, so maybe I won't get into it and give away all the whatevers. Maybe we'll just chill and put it there. I love this album. It's fantastic. I anticipated it coming out and really enjoyed it for however many years. It's over 20 years this album's been out. It's been great. And Bailey, you've been great. Thank you for joining us on Newfound
Thank you for
November.
having me. Thank you for having me.
Do you feel better coming on our show, not being under the gun, having us ask you questions about pop
Yes.
punk trivia?
But you were asking me different kinds of questions at the end of the day. But they were more about songs, and I could look at notes this time.
Just your
So that
opinions,
definitely
not
helps.
facts.
That's true. I guess that's true. But yes, no, I definitely enjoy talking about albums with you guys. And Newfound Glory is like one of my favorite bands. So yeah, no, I enjoyed myself thoroughly, as I always do. So thank you once again for having me on, guys.
Yeah, maybe all three of us will get together and see Newfound Glory at Warped Tour in Washington, D.C., if that is
yeah.
part of the thing. I can't imagine Newfound Glory not being part of Warped Tour.
NFG, LFG, let's go.
It's got to be.
That's when I'll go. Like maybe go get a glass of water or maybe a nice hot dog or something.
A nice hot dog.
That'd be time for your potty break.
Mm-hmm. No, if we buy the VIP tickets, will there be air conditioned bathrooms available?
I think that's when we were young, but I would not be surprised if it's the same for Warped Tour. I haven't looked at the details of the tickets because I'm not buying tickets until they release the lineup, which is not going to be till January.
I wouldn't even care about air conditioning. Like I don't care about that. I'd want like private bathrooms. I don't want air conditioning. Like it can be as hot as it can be, but just leave me alone, right? If I'm going to use the restroom, I don't want a line. Just that's what I'd pay for, but I
Okay.
don't think that's possible.
We'll
Pays
see.
for pooping privacy.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you're there all day, so I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But guys, it's been a blast. Bailey, you did not disappoint, as we did not think you would, because again, super fans of this band and obviously of this album definitely have a lot of awesome things to say. So thanks for coming on and sharing your knowledge and your opinions on this album with everybody out there in High School Never Ends land. And speaking of all of you guys out there, man, if you really enjoyed this episode, we would love to hear from you, especially if you're on Apple. You can go give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show. It helps us get some additional notoriety amongst the sea of pop punk dad podcasts, which there might be a dozen or so, but we want to be the best and we want to hear from you guys. So leave us a written review, give us a 5-star review if you really like the show. And if you also want to sport some awesome gear that also supports the show, we have a shop with a lot of High School Never Ends themed merchandise. You can get to that shop through our hub, which is www.hsnepod.com.
That's right. We're on the socials. We are on Discord. You can check hsnepod.com for that link. At hsnepod on Instagram and Facebook, and we don't really do much on X, but I guess we're on there as well. And we have a brand new Patreon, so if you'd like to support the show and get some extra goodies, including shout-outs and extra bonus episodes, check that out at hsnepod.com or patreon.com/hsnepod. Newfound November has 2 weeks left. I am not giving away what album we're doing next week, but please join us and continue the happiness and the conversion. We're going to make Chris 183 a Newfound Glory fan. Until then, keep on rocking those dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. If you're enjoying this show, check out DragonWagonShop.com and get yourself some sweet merch while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. That's DragonWagonShop.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.